Hey everyone, and welcome back to the NPC Dungeon. As promised, I have a story from way back, all the way back to the second campaign that I ever started telling stories from on this channel. If you want, I'll leave a link in a card to the playlist that campaign is on down below if you want to get caught up, but if not, that's fine too. If you remember, this story follows V, the Changeling Warlock, 57, the Ooze Rogue, Val, the Drow Rogue, Creve, the Dragonborn Barbarian, and Empyrean, the Dragonborn Warlock, as they negotiate with a monster hunting guild to help clear their name after escaping from prison. I'll leave a link in a card to that story, where they escape from prison that is, if you want as well. But with that little bit of exposition out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So, what happened? Well, after escaping from prison with the help of V's two friends, Moss and Stubb, the two goblins led them to a monster hunting guild they knew of led by a man named Boris. He would help them, but he would need a favor in return, so after traveling by a stolen airship to the icy expanse that Boris called home, they entered into the long, rickety cabin and waited in a lobby while Moss and Stubb went to seek out an audience. While they waited, Empyrean decided to try to steal from a gnomish alchemist by sneaking into her lab via an open window outside and hunting for potions. One cartoon chase scene later and he was back as Val climbed into the rafters and tried to no avail to spy on a shady-looking patron wearing a long cloak and studying what appeared to be some kind of arcane tome. He caught her hanging upside down Spider-Man style and shook his head before going back to his reading. She didn't find anything, but it wasn't long before Moss and Stubb returned with the good news. Boris would help them, but he would require they defeated a creature known as a Rimmerhaz, a giant centipede-like creature that thrives in the cold and can produce great amounts of heat. This creature had been skulking around the catacombs of an old dwarven family and needed to be dealt with. Luckily, it wasn't very far away, so the party left their airships behind for repairs and headed out by foot. On the way, Creve was pranked by some pixies, and the party encountered some old dwarven zombies. And aside from there being zombies, they were actually pretty cool. By the way, I'll leave a link in the card to that story if you like. I told that story before on this channel as well, but for now, my players thought about those zombies. If they're going to a dwarven catacombs and they encountered dwarven zombies on the way, they didn't like where this was going. On the way, they also traversed an icy lake, panicking as a dragon stuck its head out of the sheet from the water below without actually attacking them though. They had an understandably tense stare down as they passed the creature, but they couldn't shake the feeling that she was looking for something or someone. And finally, a final encounter stood in their way as an old gnome announcing himself as Warden Garrett, living in a hut in the middle of nowhere, offered to sell them little dwarven figures. But these little dwarven figures looked alarmingly similar to the dwarves they'd encountered along the way. They didn't like where this was going either. After they threatened the poor man, and he had no idea what they were talking about, they had no choice but to wrestle the figures from him. But the old man proved quite strong in his advanced age. They just couldn't do it. A well-placed detect magic spell discovered some incredible life-extending curse on the old man, meaning he was much older than they thought, but it also detected a very powerful charm. The man didn't lose his mind, it was taken from him. Dispel magic couldn't quite do the trick, but it did destroy the dwarven figures. They rushed back outside to see the new zombie friends dead on the ground. At least now they knew what made the zombies. It was a magical mishap from a man who knew no better. They were able to save one, however, but what to do about the old gnome? By sheer chance, one of the players mentioned offhand about the dragon they saw along the way, and Warden Garrett's eyes lit up. "Oh, I know her," he shouted. "She's the best." Now, the players must have thought it couldn't be, but it was. After returning to the dragon, she explained that she found the old man several hundred years ago and decided to act as his caretaker, but she had since lost him and was looking for him earlier when the group passed. They reunited the pair, and with a wave, Warden Garrett and the dragon walked off into the sunset as the group continued on to the catacomb. And that's where I'm ending that one. Just a funny little adventure there. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you really liked it, and feel free to comment down below if you have any feedback or just want to say hi. I try to respond as often as I can. I release new DM advice videos every Friday, new D&D story videos every Saturday, and a new pixel art time-lapse every Sunday, as well as a whole host of short videos and pixel art images throughout the week as well. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Come back next Saturday where I'll continue the story and tell about how my players fought the Rimmerhaz, made a new enemy, and even found a new place to stay. Also, feel free to check out 2 of my previous videos appearing on your screen right about now, and again, I really hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, let's learn something.